the extension continuation from there. What you guys suggest? I'll go as per your suggestion. Okay, shall I go from the beginning again? See, beginning again means, okay, I'll show you the architecture, I'll show you the provisioning of Azure Databricks workspace and cluster provisioning. After that, we'll start working on the Databricks notebooks. Okay, fine. And in Databricks notebooks, I'll show the previous labs, what we have done using Python scripting. After that, I'll show some other labs also using Python scripting. We'll do the extension of Databricks, means the old labs what I have shown that I'll show. Then after that, I'll show some new labs also. Is that fine? Because I'm getting the responses as beginning, beginning, beginning. Okay. So Shilpa, you there, ma? Shilpa, can I get the response from you also? Okay. Rohit is okay. Jitendra, Dhananjay. Okay. All are saying fine. We can start from the beginning. Okay. So what about Shilpa? Shilpa, you there? All right. Fine. No, he's not responding. Acha. Okay. Okay, Shilpa. Very matured answer. Thank you. So I believe this is okay with Mitrunjay also, right? Mitrunjay? Guys, please respond me. Okay, okay, Mitrunjay. Okay, right. Thank you. So I'll just open the material here for us. Okay. I'll completely focus on labs, guys. Okay. So I will go to our syllabus here. Sorry, material here. Okay. Fine. I'll say here Azure Databricks. Okay. Better I'll search it in table of content. Azure Databricks, where it is. Vault. Lot of things is there. Where is Databricks here? Yeah, Apache Spark. Okay, Spark architecture and all. Right. So this is from here up to here we have done ADF, right? Up to here we have done ADF. Okay, and of course other concepts. Now, what are the disadvantages of traditional frameworks? We have discussed some points on Big Data and Hadoop frameworks and all. And here we have started the architecture. Okay, Apache Spark architecture we have discussed. Okay, I'll completely focus on labs, guys. Okay, so what I'll do here, I will, okay, start creating the, okay, Databricks workspace. I'll start creating the Databricks only few things that you can set up, and then the cluster will be getting ready for you. Okay, that's why in order to know you guys what all the features that we are having, okay, for that reason I have shown that Databricks workspace and cluster in the paid subscription. Okay, so I'm just going back to my paid subscription here. Just hold on for a minute, please. Okay, so it's very simple, guys. This is Databricks definition. Okay, I'm not discussing here the theoretical part. Okay, fine. This is the very important note. That's what I have highlighted. You are having two options. You can create your Databricks cluster either with multi-node or a single node. See, the name itself is telling very clearly, single node means single server. Node means what? Server, guys. Node is nothing but a server. Server is nothing but virtual machines. Virtual machine. Okay. In Azure cloud computing, we call server as a virtual machine. So it's very simple to understand. Single node means you can create a Databricks cluster with one server only, with single node also, or else multi-node is also supported. Only the performance will be very good when you are going for the multi-node, because multiple servers memory, multiple servers virtual CPUs will give the boost, to your Databricks okay cluster, so that the performance will be very good when you are executing the Python scripts. Okay, see here what I'm saying, multi nodes here, multiple users and nodes can connect to the cluster and the cluster notebooks that has been created, which gives ultimately the good performance as compared to single node. Here single user and single node can connect to the cluster and cluster notebook that has been created. So when you are creating a cluster, okay, I'll show again. You might have seen that in the video recordings also. Okay, we can choose anything, multi-node or single node. Okay, single node mostly will prefer for our learning and trial purposes. In real-time projects, you will go for multi-nodes, and single nodes also depends upon the project requirement. Fine. These are all the features what we are having. That features I am giving here in the material. So I'll just go here. I'll say here simply say here Azure Databricks. I got it. Okay, Azure Databricks. Okay, click here. First, we are creating the workspace. Always remember here, we'll create the workspace first. We'll create the workspace first. Okay, we'll create the Azure Databricks workspace first. We'll create the Azure Databricks workspace first. Then after that, okay, we'll create the okay Databricks cluster. See guys, this is the sequence that you have to follow. This is the sequence you have to follow. Okay, first we'll create the Databricks class workspace. Okay, then we'll create the Databricks cluster. After that, we'll create the notebooks. We'll create the Python notebooks, or you can even say in the notebooks SQL also you can write, SQL scripts also you can write, Python scripts also you can write. We are having different APIs. Okay, at the top right side, you can select whatever API you want, and then whatever the API you have selected, there you can write the script. I'll show you practically. Okay, so we'll create the Python notebooks and we'll write the Python scripts inside the notebook, and we'll write the Python scripts inside the Databricks notebooks. Okay, this is the step one. Okay, when you are working with Databricks, this is step two. Then this is step three. On a very high level, I'm telling this. On a very high level, I'm telling this. Okay, fine. Okay, so I'll go here first for Databricks workspace. I click on create here. Okay, these steps you have to remember, guys. In interviews also, if you tell like this, it means that you are having a hands-on knowledge. You are having a hands-on knowledge. You are having some hands-on experience on the Databricks. Fine, I'll take resource group as Naresh RG. Workspace name, any name you can give to your workspace. See, this is all the steps I have given. Okay, it's very simple only, guys, nothing that great. Okay, see, deploying Databricks workspace, deploying or creating Databricks cluster is not a big deal. Okay, it's very simple only, nothing great there. Okay, working on Python notebooks. Okay, writing the Python scripts, converting the Python script to SQL, that is important. That is there to learn. Okay, it is nothing, Nayar. What is there? It's very simple, right? It's very simple. Okay, creating Databricks workspace and Databricks cluster is very simple. Okay, see now, this is the Databricks workspace I am creating first. I'll give the workspace name. Okay, so is there any? No, it has not given any workspace name. Okay, all right. I'll give here uh, Naresh Azure Databricks workspace. Okay, I'm giving here something like Naresh Azure Databricks workspace. Okay, fine. And I'll create this in Japan East region. Japan East, I'm creating in Japan East region. Pricing tier, I'm going for trial premium 14 days. Okay, when you are working in real-time projects, you will can go here for standard or premium, depends upon this. This all details you will get when you are working real-time projects. This all details you will get it from your cloud architect, no need to worry. As of now, I'm going with trial premium. Okay, manage resource group name. So remember guys, here when this workspace gets created, along with this workspace, okay, along with this workspace, okay, what we are doing here, other resources also will get created. That resources will get placed here in this managed resource group. Very, very important. In the interviews, they will ask what they will ask, in the interview. At the time of creation of Databricks workspace, okay, what is the purpose of managed resource group? Okay, why managed resource group is used for? So you can simply tell that along with the Databricks workspace, some other resources will also get created as part of it. That resources will get placed in this managed resource group. This is not only for Databricks workspace. Whatever the cloud services that you are deploying, which is carrying a technology of cluster, okay, then managed resource group will also be compulsory there. You can see for DevOps engineers, they are working on Kubernetes services. So when they are deploying Kubernetes clusters also, same this managed resource group they will also find. So the answer is very simple in the interview. Along with this workspace, some other resources will also get created as part of it. That resources will be placed here in this managed resource group. Like this, you can say. So I'll say here Naresh Azure Databricks workspace manage RG. I'll simply say here manage RG. MRG stands for manage RG. I'm giving some meaningful, easy names to remember, guys. Okay, fine. So it is asking what deploy Azure Databricks workspace with secure cluster connectivity. No, I don't want as if now. Okay, with secure cluster connectivity, I'm saying no here. Databricks workspace in your own virtual network. No, I don't want that also. Next, encryption. So this is security, guys. This is security. If you want to, manage the keys for your disks, okay, that is getting stored basically for to keep your data and all. If you want, you can enable this feature. These features are disabled because the package what we have selected, this package, for this package, these features are disabled. Okay, if you want to enable this feature, this is basically security features, just you have to check it if you want it. Okay, so if I choose here this high-end package, let us take, if I'm taking premium, then see here this features gets enabled for us. Simply you have to check these features if you want it. So here what it is doing, additional control of your data, that you can add your own keys to protect and control access of some types of data. Okay, basically security, that what is the data, what is the scripts that you are attaching, you are executing and all. For that, it's just a kind of security. So I'm just going with this option only. Okay, next, security and complaints. Same, enable complaint security profile, enable enhanced security monitoring. Okay, if you want, you can enable these features. Enhanced security and complaints add-on helps simplify the complexity of meeting security and regulatory requirements. Mostly these things will be taken care in your real-time project by Azure Security Engineer, AZ500, like how you guys are doing DP203. There are separate teams, separate people who will do AZ500. They are Azure Security Engineers. They will take care of, right? Next, tags. Tags is what? Basically, here we'll pass the tags to give additional features. What we can say, future references. Okay, why we have created this workspace, what is the purpose, for which project, for which application, etc., that you can pass the tags here, so that in the future, after 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, you should know why you have created, because we are human beings, will forget the things, right? So that's why we'll give the tags here, and it is optional also. If you want, you can pass the tags. If you leave it, it's not a problem, it will not throw you any error as well. Example, I'll say here, okay, I'm creating this one. Okay, Databricks workspace for application called, okay, Bank of America. Bank of America. Okay, so whatever the data that I'm going to have for this application, okay, that data extraction or reading that data, okay, accessing the data for that particular project, for that project directories, for that, from that project storage accounts and all, whatever I'm writing the scripts for this application, okay, this Databricks workspace will be used. Environment, I can say here I'm using this for dev environment. Means obviously I'm having the application project created for every environment, dev, UAT, prod, like that, right? And then next I'll say here type, I'll say here what type of resources this Databricks workspace is going to extract the data, what type of resources, that is what it is saying here. So I'll say here backend resources, it will be backend resources. Backend resources means what, guys? The resources, okay, which will be of course available as part of your project but not visible to an end user. Example, your SQL database, your blob storage services, your data lake gen 2 storage, your table storage, queue storage, file share storage, etc., etc. These are called backend resources. BAID, this is the business ID that you will get it from your business analyst or business relationship manager and all. This all things, okay, you will get and you are going to pass. It would be something like this, BA04526, something like this you will get. So like this you can pass the tags here. After you pass the tags, say here review plus create. So wait for the validations to be completed. It is validating now. Okay, validation got succeeded. Click on create. So once you click on create, what it is doing now, it is creating the Databricks workspace. It is creating the Databricks workspace. We have not entered into cluster. Still, we are deploying the workspace. That is what I have told. Step one. First, we'll create the Databricks workspace. This we are doing. After this gets succeeded, then after that we'll create the Databricks cluster. Second step is what? Databricks cluster. Okay, fine. So I'll just hold on. Let the Databricks workspace gets deployed here. Okay. So let it get deployed here. My screen is not visible. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jitendra. Thank you so much for your comments. Happy Teachers Day. Okay, fine. So, okay, still the provisioning is going on. Okay, I'm waiting for this. Yes, I'm doing this in paid subscription, Manju, because in free trial subscription, cluster will not get supported. Okay, that's why I'm doing in this paid subscription. In our previous class also, I have done this in paid subscription only. Okay, so what is the alternate that we are having? The alternate is community edition. Community edition will also support everything, but the only difference is that what all the options I have shown now, okay, while creating the Databricks workspace, this all options you will not see in community edition. Community edition. That's why I am showing here, okay, workspace and cluster provisioning in paid subscription, and Python notebooks I'll show it in the community edition. Okay, is that clear? Now see, the workspace got deployed. The Databricks workspace got deployed. Go to resource here. Okay, launch the workspace. Launch a workspace. So we have created the workspace. Okay, Naresh, Azure Databricks workspace we have created where in this mail ID, right? So this is what the user ID and password. So this is what this account, right? I'll click on this one. Okay. So it will launch the Databricks workspace interface for me. So it is just launching. Just hold on. Just hold on, guys. Let it get launched. Yeah. So now this is our Databricks workspace. This is the interface we are having. Okay, fine. So what I'll do now here, the first and foremost important thing that we'll go for is cluster. What we'll do, we'll create a cluster. So to create a cluster, this is what you have to click on compute. Okay, you have to click on compute. If you want to create a new notebook, simply click here and say notebook here. Okay, there are other ways also. You can click cluster here as well. Okay, fine. I'll just click here compute, and then I'll say here create compute. I'm creating a cluster first. Okay, I'll say here create compute means I'm going for cluster provisioning. I'll give the name for my cluster as cluster 1. Okay, fine. Now this is what the features we are having when we are creating a cluster. This is the features we are having. Okay, fine. So now when you deploy a cluster in community edition, you will not see all these features: policy, multi-node, single node, access mode, single user access. Okay, photon acceleration, work type, how many workers, like nodes you want, minimum, maximum. Okay, these all features you will not see in community edition. Okay, in order to give you the knowledge, okay, I am deploying this cluster in the paid subscription in the Azure portal. Else I could have shown in this community edition also. In the last classes also I've shown the same thing. Fine. So I'll say here policy as unrestricted means whoever is getting the access to this Azure cloud platform, whoever log in with this administrator user ID and password, they can see the cluster unrestricted. Okay, you are having other options also, personal compute. Okay, so it is something like which will have the more compute power. Okay, as compared to other options, unrestricted or power user compute means it can be shared to multiple users. Shared compute, legacy shared compute, multiple options we are having. I'm going with unrestricted. If you want to have only one node to run your Databricks cluster, then simply say a single node. That's it. See, the moment you are selecting a single node, notice here many things are getting changed. See, now when I say here multi-node, see this minimum workers means what? Nodes. Minimum how much you want, maximum how much you want. This is the configuration this is taking for us, all this stuff. The moment I say a single node, see guys, notice here, the moment I say a single node, automatically these options will go. See, it is going. It means what? Your cluster will stand now on top of single server only. If you go for single node, you go for single node. If you go for multi-node, then here you are having the luxury. Here you are having the choice. How many nodes you want? I'll say here minimum one node I want, maximum three nodes I want, or five nodes I want. Whatever you want, you can put here. what happens when you are running a very big queries, or you are running sub queries inside your notebooks, and if cluster feels like the performance is getting degraded, or it will take a long time to give the output, then automatically the other nodes, okay, internally Microsoft has written the algorithms in such a way that the other nodes will get launched, okay, and that nodes, the new nodes will get launched, and it will boost the cluster so that the performance will get improved. The performance will get improved. This is what the purpose of a multi-nodes cluster. Multi-nodes. Okay. It is giving you an option for single node also. Single node normally we use for learning purposes. In real-time projects, single node is not feasible. Single node is not feasible. That's why we are going here for multi-nodes in our real-time projects. For learning and trial purpose, if you want to save some money, then definitely you can go for single node only. Okay. See, when you change the compute mode, you lose all settings except the compute name and Databricks runtime version. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes, confirm. Fine. Very simple message it is giving. Your choice, whatever you want. Access mode, I am just going for single user. Later on also, if you want to provide access to other users to this cluster, you can do it also. It's not a problem. Okay, the name I'm having here in my Azure subscription is this one only. Obviously, it will show this name only. It will show this name only. Okay, this is what the runtime we are having. Okay, like I can say here a software. Okay, a software that is needed to run the cluster, to understand what queries you are writing, what Python scripts you are writing on top of these clusters in notebooks, to understand that Python script or SQL script, etc. It is considering this versions, runtime versions, like it is taking 14.3 LTS. This is long time support. Scala it is taking 2.12, and Spark it is taking 3.50. By default, it will take this. By default, it will take this. If you want, you can change these versions. Okay, you can change this 12.2, you can put 13.3, whatever you want, you can put multiple runtime versions we are having here. Anything is fine. Automatically, it will take by default value also. Okay, without this, okay, runtime version, without this Scala and Spark versions, okay, what the queries you are writing inside the notebooks, it will not be understood to your Databricks cluster. So this is mandatory. Definitely, it will take automatically or by default also if you not give anything. Fine. Photon acceleration. Here I have given the features basically. If you go down here, see, this is the steps I have given. All the steps I have given here. Wait for some time till the Databricks workspace gets deployed. Click on the launch workspace. Mouse over on left, a window will get open, and then click on compute, create cluster, and follow the diagram as shown below. This is the diagram we are following here. Okay, fine. Same na, same diagram, right? Here, okay. If you want, you can say here, okay, uncheck, and then here you say here enable auto scaling. Auto scaling means what? Auto scaling means when the cluster feels like that it needs more compute power, more processing power to run the queries and all. Okay, then if enable auto scaling is there, then it will launch, okay, second node, third node, fourth node, fifth node. Internally, it will happen. You will not see. You can't see. All this is internal mechanism. When you create a virtual machine, okay, with unmanaged disk, okay, with managed disk, whatever it is. If you go for managed disk, internally Azure is creating some storage account, and it is keeping the VM operating disk on inside the storage account. That storage account is also hidden. You cannot see. It is something like that. If you say here enable auto scaling, if you uncheck enable auto scaling, it means that you are saying that, okay, I want to run my cluster on 2 nodes only. That's it. If the load is getting increased, very big queries, if it is taking long time also, the cluster is not having any option
This meeting is being
don't
recorded.
delete the cluster. Okay, for 2 to 3 days. For 2 to 3 days, don't delete the cluster. Then see the bill to your Azure paid subscription. Then see the bill, okay, to your Azure paid subscription. It will be easily 2,500 to 3,500 just in 2 to 3 days only. Cluster is very heavy service, very costly service, Databricks cluster. That's why in free trial account also it is not getting supported. Okay, still sometimes if you are very lucky, then with single node you can deploy the cluster in Azure free trial account. Sometimes it will get deployed, but mostly it will get fail, it will not support. Very rarely with single node it will get deployed, and that too it is not officially documented anywhere in Microsoft documentation. It's just, you know, that we are having a perception in the community cloud forums and all that. It is supporting that single node cluster will be supporting in Azure free trial accounts also, but it is not officially documented from Microsoft anywhere. So you try single node cluster in your Azure free trial subscriptions and see whether it is getting provisioned or not. Okay, fine. So next is what? The configuration. So to run this cluster now, okay, underlying infrastructure, virtual machine, node is needed. Node is what? Nothing but virtual machine server. So it is giving you a lot of options. 16 GB memory, 4 core, 32 GB memory, 8 core, multiple options. The higher configuration you take, the higher would be the performance. The super would be the performance of your cluster, and also the billing will also be very high. Billing will also be very high. It's very simple, guys. The greatest features, okay, the highest features you use, accordingly you will get the bill. The bill is purely depends upon your consumption, how you are consuming it, okay. So you are having multiple options. So this we are having general purpose delta cache accelerated. This is general purpose HDD. Okay, this is memory optimized. This is multiple. Okay, groups. They have divided the nodes into multiple groups. Whichever you want, accordingly you can choose it. So here I'll say just very minimal general purpose 14 GB memory 4 core. This is fine. This is fine for me. Okay, for trial version. Now, when it comes to real-time projects, okay, you will get this detail. Which node size you have to choose. These details you will get it. No need to worry. Accordingly, as per the inputs you receive, you are going to deploy the, okay, Azure data engineering services in the cloud computing platform. Fine. Now again, tags. Just now we have seen tags. The same tags is available here. Tags comes every time whenever you are creating whatever the service in cloud computing. Fine. Next is what? You pass, no problem. You don't pass, no problem. This is just for your future references. Terminate the cluster after so and so time. I'll say here 20 minutes. What is this? This is one of the techniques. This is one of the techniques that you can use to save your billing, to reduce your billing to some extent. So what I'm saying here, if I'm not running any queries on top of my cluster continuously for 20 minutes, then immediately stop my cluster, because until the cluster is running on top of my cloud platform, it will be billable for me. It will be billable for me. It will keep on charging me. Okay. So it's just one of the techniques that Microsoft has given us. If the cluster is not being used, then to a certain time, this time will be decided by you, your project. Okay. Your project can decide this time. Okay. You want to set 30 minutes, you can set 30 minutes, 45 minutes you want, you can set. Okay, or 10 minutes if you want, you can set whatever time you want, you can set it. It's your choice. I'll say here 20 minutes is perfect. Okay, terminate after 20 minutes of inactivity. What it is? Inactivity. Fine. I'll say here create compute. Now what it is going to do, it is going to create a cluster for me. It is going to create a cluster for me with two nodes. Okay, internally these nodes will get created. Okay, just hold on for some time. This cluster provisioning will take long time, guys. Okay, so as per Microsoft documentation, Okay, as per Microsoft documentation, the expected time. Okay, as per Microsoft documentation, the expected time to provision the cluster in Azure cloud platform is 8 to 10 minutes. Is 8 to 10 minutes. So let us see if it is happening less than that also, that is good. Okay, it depends again on multiple things here. Okay, what region we have considered, how many worker nodes we have considered, what configuration we have considered. Okay, it's a single node, multi-node, multiple things is there, whatever it is. So we'll just wait for it for some time, and we have to keep checking here. See, it is just getting loaded. It means that the cluster provisioning is in progress. The cluster name I have given is what? Cluster 1. The cluster name I have given it as what? Cluster 1. Okay, so we'll just wait for it for some time. Let us see. We'll wait, guys. We'll wait until the provisioning gets happened here. Okay, fine. See now, the cluster got provision. This is an indication for us. Okay, this is an indication for us. If the cluster gets provision, we'll get a green check mark. Guys, are you following me or not? Can I get the responses? Are you guys following me or not? Yes, no? Okay, all right. Fine, thank you guys. So see here, this is the cluster got provision. Cluster got provision for me now. I'll go to the, okay, new, I'll say here now notebook. I'll say here now notebook. If you want to see, go to compute. See here, cluster 1 is been provisioned. Cluster 1 is been provisioned. Okay, and it is running also. If you want, you can stop it here. Just click here, it will get terminated. Okay, if you want, you can restart. You can clone this cluster if you want. You can delete. You can edit the permissions also if you want it. So what I'll do, I'll just go here workspace. I'll say here create, and I'll say here notebook. I'll say here notebook. This is the notebook I'm creating on top of my cluster. On top of my cluster, I'm creating this notebook. Okay. So you can give any notebook to your, and you can give any name. You can give it as notebook 1 if you want. Okay. Fine. This is the notebook 1 I have given. Your notebook 1 is connected to cluster 1. It's pretty obvious that we are having only one cluster. Two worker nodes we have selected now. That is what it is showing here. See, two worker nodes we have selected. 12.LTS. This is the version we have taken at the time of deploying the cluster. If you guys remember, Spark version, this one, 3.3, it has taken. Okay, this we are having option to choose this version number. This will be automatically attached to this Spark and Scala. All right. So we are having only one cluster. That's why it is connected to cluster 1 is showing. If you're having 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 clusters, then you can click here and you can choose which cluster you want to connect this notebook to. You can choose which cluster you want to connect to notebook to. Okay. This is what we have provisioned the cluster in cloud platform in paid subscription. See, this is paid subscription. This is my paid subscription. Okay. So why I have deployed in paid subscription? Because the lot of features enable auto scaling, single node, multi node, photon acceleration. These all features you will not see when you are doing in the when you are deploying or creating the cluster in community edition. But it's completely understandable that students are not having paid subscription. This is a big challenging thing. That's why the other way around I have given in the material is a photon acceleration. Photon acceleration. These are all the features you will not see. These features you will not see in the community edition when you are creating a cluster. Okay, fine. This is all the steps. What all we have done now. This is all the steps that I am showing here. Okay, fine. So if I scroll down here, here I have shown right here. Okay, to go to community edition, this is the link I have given here. Okay, click try Databricks and fill the details like below. These details you are going to fill. You are going to get the link. And always remember, guys, community edition. Okay, if you want to use or if you want to create cluster, okay, what cluster? Databricks cluster. I will write. If you want to create Databricks cluster, okay, with community edition, then you have to give the okay new mail id, okay, new mail id every time, or else you can do one thing. Okay, you save the user id and password of community edition platform, and every time you can use that credentials to log into, okay, to log into community edition, where you can create the cluster and you can practice. You can practice the Python scripts and practice the Python scripts. All right. Is that clear? This is what how it is. So what I'll do, I'll not go further here. I mean further in the sense I'm not going to show the Python scripts here in my paid subscription. What I can do instead, I'll show this Python scripts, what all I have shown in the last classes. That also I will show because people have requested for that one as well. And some other new labs also I will show in the Databricks. Some new labs also I'll show in the Databricks. Some other labs like with Python scripting I'll show. Okay, how we can mount, how we can read the data, how we can generate the data. Okay, some DB utilities files. Okay, some libraries. Okay, some other labs also I will show apart from the previous labs. Fine. Is that clear, guys? Up to now is all good. There is a lag in voice. Is my voice not clear? Actually, guys, at my place, it's raining very heavily. Okay, it's raining very heavily. So, acha, Kiran is also saying yes, sir. Okay, all right. So, what I can do here? Okay, okay, all right. What I can do here? Okay, if you see the other way around to create a Databricks workspace and Databricks cluster using the community edition, you have to go to this link. This is the link I have given in the material. Okay, so take this link, put it in the browser, and here you have to give the details. Try Databricks. Okay, try Databricks. These details you have to give. First name, last name, email, company, give it as Naresh IT, title data engineer. This is optional, leave it. Phone is optional, leave it. Country, India. If you are in India, any other country, whatever. Okay. So learning and certification. Say here learning and certification, and then say here continue. Okay. Then you are creating this cluster where in which cloud it will ask you. You have to say Azure. Okay. So can I get someone's mail ID, please? Can I get someone's mail ID, please? Here. Can anyone please give me your mail ID, guys? It should be new. Yeah, it's there already, Shilpa. Okay, okay, fine, fine. No, no, I need the mail ID, complete mail ID, so that the link will come to your mail, guys. Anyone can give me the mail ID. Okay, thank you, Karun. Karun100 at gmail.com. 1 minute. Okay, one mail ID is fine, guys. That is fine. Thank you. Karun100 at gmail.com. I'll take Karun. Okay. Karun100 at gmail.com. Company, I'll take it as Naresh IT. Title, Azure Data Engineer. Phone is optional, India. I'll say here learning and certification. I want to use this. Okay, fine. And then I'll say here continue. Okay, last name it is asking. Karun, what is your last name, ma? Kumar. Okay, I'll take it as Kumar. Okay, Karun Kumar. I'll say here continue. Now see here it is asking me where you are planning to create the cluster. AWS Cloud, Azure Cloud, Google Cloud. This all I have shown in the last classes also. You can check the recordings. Fine. So I'll say here Azure Cloud. I'll say here Microsoft Azure. Continue. Now, okay, just hold on. Okay, continue to Azure Databricks. Okay, so I think Karun, you please check. You will get an email from Databricks Community Edition. You will get an email. Okay, from Databricks Community Edition, something like this. You will get an email. I'll show that also. You will get an email, something like this. Data bricks. Let's search. See, like this mail you will get. Karun, please check. Like this mail you will get here from Databricks. Okay, from Community Edition. Please check and let me know. After you get an email, what it is saying here, see, we need you to verify your email address by clicking on this link. You will then redirected. You will then be redirected to Databricks Community Edition. You have to click on this link. Karun, maybe it will take some more time, 1 or 2 minutes, 2 3 minutes, but you will get one mail like this, like how I'm showing now, like this mail you will get it. Okay. Once you get the mail, then let me know. You did not get yet. Refresh your browser. Like this mail you will get. Welcome to Databricks. Please verify your email address. This will be the mail subject. You got it? Yes, no? Okay. Not sure. It might take some more time, I believe. jngupta12 at gmail.com. Okay. I'll say here Jitendra. Okay. Gupta. Let me say here get started with community edition. Okay. So I'll just click here, start the puzzle. Okay. What it is saying, make it towards hand direction. Right now, this is correct, right? I'll click on submit. Okay. Just hold on. It is loading. Jitendra, you please check it. Check your email to start your trial. Thank you for signing up. Please validate your email address to start your trial. Jitendra, I have given your mail ID. Please check it. Jitendra jngupta12 at gmail.com. So, Jitendra, you will get an email something like this from Databricks Community Edition. Jitendra, if you are there, respond me. Waiting for you. Jitendra, can you please let me know whether you are there in the class or not? Arey yaar. Guys, am I audible? Can I get the responses from others? I think he is not there in the class. Jitendra is having some problem, I believe. He is not responding. I have given his mail ID, but he is not responding. One minute, guys. Can I get someone's mail ID, guys, please? Okay, Dhananjay. Here it is not getting copied.
This
Databricks
meeting
Community
is being
Edition. Okay,
recorded.
click on it. Then it will directly take you here. This is your community edition. This is your community, okay, dot cloud.databricks.com. Okay, now here, if you click on compute now, guys, see, if you click on compute, this is one cluster I have created. This cluster got stopped. Okay, this cluster got stopped. In community edition, you are not having any luxury as such where you can stop the cluster.
This
If you
meeting is
remember, in
being
our paid
recorded.
subscription, we have given that the cluster should be stopped after 20 minutes, after 30 minutes, something like that. Here it is not like that. Okay, that's why I have shown first in the paid subscription, and now I'm showing here in the community edition, because I want to show you guys all the features what we are having. Okay, when we are creating a cluster in the cloud platform. Okay, all these features. See, now if I go here, okay, see this one. If I, okay, it logged me out. Okay, I'll come here. Okay, I'll say here create compute. Now see, these all options it will not ask you. This is in my paid subscription. This all options it will not ask you here when you are creating in community edition. See here, I'll delete this cluster first. I cannot start this cluster also. If I try to start this cluster, it will get fail. See, could not start cluster 1 because that features are not there in community edition. Okay, so simply delete this cluster. No problem. Cluster got deleted. Take a refresh. Okay, see now no cluster is there. Okay, create compute. Now see what it is giving you. Is it giving you any features like this? When you are creating a cluster, it is giving you a lot of features, right? Single mode, multi-node, okay, runtime version, photon acceleration, okay, and configuration of our node, how many nodes you want. Nothing it is giving here in the community edition. It is just giving you the cluster name to pass. I am passing the cluster name as cluster 1. Okay, runtime also it is giving multiple options. I'll go with 12.2 long-term support runtime and then click on create compute. That's it, finished. It will create the cluster now. It will create the cluster for me. Where we are creating this cluster, we are creating this in community edition. In order to make you guys understand all these features that will be helpful for you for your interviews point of view, I have first shown here in the paid subscription, then I'm showing here in the community edition also. So you have to practice here in the community edition how to do the login and all that stuff. Okay, how to go here to community edition. This all steps I have given, I have shown practically also. Okay, in previous classes video recordings is also there. And then after the cluster gets created, okay, here after the cluster gets created, we can start writing the Python scripts inside the notebooks. So Python scripts and all, okay, inside this cluster notebook we can write, we can create, we can do many things here in the Python notebooks. Okay, clear guys, is that clear? Yes, no? So I'm just waiting for the cluster gets provision here. Hold on. Okay. Okay, I have to check that, Manpreet. I have to check that. Okay. I'll check for some Microsoft documentation. If it is there, then I'll let you know. I'll show it to you. Okay. Yeah. See now the cluster got provision here. See the cluster got provision. Fine. Now I'll go here to new. I'll say here new notebook. Okay. Same. All the APIs what we are having APIs here also. Okay. Python, SQL, Scala are programming. Okay, Python scripting, I'll show you here. Notebook name, anything you want, you can give it and you can start writing the scripts here. Okay, so this Python scripts I have shown already in the previous classes, right? So we have done the labs in the last class, this labs, okay, from this platform, right? From this platform, we have done the labs, right? So the people are asking me to show these labs again, okay? So I don't know why. I'll show these labs again after this, after we complete this ones, okay, whatever it is, then I'll show you some other labs also in Databricks. Fine, is that clear? Yes, no? So what I'll do in tomorrow's class, I will create the cluster in community edition, and I'll create the notebooks. Then I'll start executing the Python scripts, different labs, whatever. I'll just try to show it to you guys. Okay, is that clear? What is this solution B saying? Is this document different from what we previously have? No, it's same. It's same solution B. It's same only. One more document I have created for Python's for this Databricks labs. That document I'll share. This document what I'm preferring right now. This document same only what I have shared in the previous classes. No change. One more document I have created that I'll share later. First, let me teach. Then I'll share that document as well. Okay, is that clear? Fine, guys. Any other questions, guys? Any other thing to ask for? Yes, no? Recording you will not get today. Dhananjay, you are going to get it tomorrow, I believe. Just hold on. Let me check how you are getting the recordings, guys. Even I don't know. Let me see. 7:30 p.m. batch, right? Mm, yeah, you will get the recording tomorrow. Okay, you will get the recording tomorrow, not now. Okay, tomorrow, maybe by afternoon, 1 o'clock, you will get the recording. Okay, guys. Okay. All right, guys. I'm good to close the class. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone. Good night, guys. Take care. Bye, bye. Bye.